buy her a pair of shoes.
I don't need a pair of shoes in the game.
I can buy my own shoes.
Buy her a pair of shoes. All the I've done for her. I said to Scott, I'm not buying her a pair of shoes. I bought her a career.
The Kim and Kourtney drama has been going on for fucking years. It's a very played out story that a lot of us have heard over and over. These two love to fight. They don't get along. It's yada, yada, yada. And it's always happening on the show, of course. If it's Kim being smart about something Kourtney didn't do, or if it's Kourtney not working as hard as Kim, or if it's Kim basically sending hidden innuendos of why she's so much better than Kourtney because she created her career, or even stealing her potential client, like they're saying is their newest beef over Dolce & Gabbana, or if it's Kim outshining Kourtney on her own wedding. Their fighting is constant. But in all honesty, these two, technically, their energy is never going to be a bliss. It's never going to be perfectly correlated or aligned. So as we see in the zodiac wheel or calendar, whatever you like to call it, that we have the Libra literally opposing the Aries. I mean, the Aries is the cardinal sign. So it's probably the Aries opposing the Libra. But in all honesty, this dynamic is always going to have conflict. And they have a lot of similar transits, but they also have similar energy alignments that continue to create this area. If they honestly learned how to work through a lot of their own insecurities and areas of manifestation and balancing their own energy, I actually think they would have a very successful career together for the long hold. But their entertainment of bickering and fighting is honestly very polarizing, and it's very polarizing for many of us to watch. I'm actually going to do a breakdown of both of their birth charts and their birth charts together and what is causing this area of turmoil in their family. I mean, besides it all being for media attention, of course, but what makes it so realistic? Because let's be honest, there's a part of it that is true.
About stuff like if it's a
But
Saturday.
you act like I don't do shit. Do you know all you have this narrative in your
I'm
mind?
not saying that you
No. I will literally you up. If you mention it again, literally shut the up and don't laugh like that. You look like a freak.
My diamond earring came off in the ocean and it's gone.
And there's people that are dying.
I just told you
Anyone
that
would be annoyed. I work really hard and I know.
So first thing first, we have to start with Miss Kim Kardashian, the starter of it all, as she would say. If it wasn't for her, Lord knows Kourtney would be flipping some fries and some patties at Mickey D's. But of course, Kim Kardashian came to the rescue, gave her a career, and blah, blah, blah. First of all, Kim is the second youngest sister, but what is most interesting about her is about her actual birth chart. And we're going to get into both their birth charts. But Kim's birth chart is a little bit more vibracious, one might say. She made it to the top if she was finessing people, scamming people, or just making good business decisions. However you see it, whatever she did, she got herself there. And the help of her mama. Kim Kardashian was born October 21st, 1980, and it is to be believed that her time of birth was 10:46 a.m. She is a life path number of 22. She is a sun in Libra at 28 degrees, which is also considered a fame degree. A lot of people like that 28 degree. She has a Pisces moon, and she also has an ascendant in Sagittarius at 13 degrees. Her midheaven is in 28 degrees in Virgo. And she also has a Jupiter in Virgo at 28 degrees. Kim has a lot of good transits on her side, some that are definitely holding her back. are ones that have to do with her relationships with her family. But success-wise, she seems to be playing it pretty clear. But her family dynamic, not so much. But that comes with the lessons being learned, especially as a master number in 22. She also has multiple planets in opposition, as we can see right there, which is her moon in 28 in Pisces, also her midheaven in Virgo at 28 degrees, and her Saturn in Libra as well in 3 degrees with her Jupiter in 28 degrees in Virgo. This lets me know that she has this dynamic with fame where something's always pushing her off. It could be her eagerness to want more. I mean, no matter how well she does and succeeds, it's going to be very hard for this woman to get that chill factor. Like, very hard. She wants it all. And a lot of that has to do with this opposition. I do like the fact that in her 10th house, which is known as a career house, she not only has Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. Good move, girl.
Kourtney wasn't so difficult.
If I'm out by 4, that's all I need. And I don't think I'm going to get there and change my mind. And I'm leaving at 4 p.m. and I don't care what anyone says.
Kourtney Kardashian, the oldest sister, and some might say the thorn in Kim's side. She was born on April 18th, 1979 at 3:15 a.m. She has a life path number of 3. Kourtney is a sun in Aries, a moon in Capricorn at 10 degrees, and she also has a Pisces ascendant. One of the things that really stands out to me about her chart is the fact that she has her Mars in Aries. And this energy is happening in her first house, which lets me know she doesn't play with who she is, what she's doing, or basically how she wants people to see her. Another thing that correlates with her first house is that she has her Mercury and Venus. And the fact that it's happening in Pisces lets me know that she knows where she is on her spiritual sense and also her sense of her subconscious. She thinks before she moves, even though she does move a little spontaneous. She takes time to say what she has to say when she communicates, but there is that level of her that will get very fiery and will get very pissed off extremely quick and even become very hard to deal with. Another thing that stands out to me is in her second house, she has it basically starting at 22 degrees of Aries, which holds her sun and her Chiron. So her second house, in all honesty, is a lot of area of expansion and growth and almost like that lucky presence about her, where money, since it's referring to who she is and her authentic nature and her income, will come to her a little bit more easier for most, but she isn't chasing it. In all honesty, I honestly think that if she didn't have all these luxury things that she has, she would be fine. She would be fine. She would just live a normal, happy life. And I think she would probably feel very blissful in a normal and happy life. Believe it or not, but Kourtney is a hard worker. She actually works pretty hard, but she's not going to sacrifice her family or her feminine energy for it. She's also not going to burn herself out too, and she's not going to chase it. In her 11th house, she has her moon at 10 degrees in Capricorn, which makes her likable to many people. Also, her 5th house contains her Jupiter in Cancer, which lets me know she's going to do what's right for her. She doesn't care what anybody says, especially when it comes to
runs this because she doesn't. She's the least exciting to look at.
Kourtney and Kim Kardashian, it's undeniable that obviously they care about each other, their family, their sisters. They've been through a lot with each other. Most of their conflict and areas of unalignment in their dual energies and their individual energies and their energies as a whole all relate to the areas of money, family, and long-term commitments of completing goals with each other. For the most part, I do think they actually communicate pretty well. I mean, that isn't necessarily something that's hindering them, but what's hindering their relationship is, in all honesty, a lot of insecurities. A lot of times it's very challenging for them to just get along. And there are some areas of jealousy, and it comes from both ends. One of the transits I want to talk about is the fact that Kim's sun is in Kourtney's 8th house. And that 8th house holds a lot of energy of transformation, rebirth, and change. I feel like there's times that Kourtney wants to change certain things, and there's this identity of Kim just kind of pushing her back in where she can't solely do that, or she feels like, for whatever reasons, if it's because of the family or Kim's big ego, that she just can't make certain steps. Of course, the two sun oppositions have a strong, intense energy. This creates a very excessive solar plex energy. And when we're dealing with sun signs, that's really like the ego, the power, and the will. And a lot of that has to do with the drive. So it's almost like each other, especially Kim, because I feel like Kim is a little bit more dominant in this energy. And I feel like it comes with that area of like judgment where she's looking at everything that Kourtney does. I almost said Chloe, but everything that Kourtney does. And she thinks, not only can she improve, but I would have done it so much better. They also tend to act very bold and almost aggressive and too assertive with each other. And most of that usually has to do with the opposition of that solar plex and solar energy. Also, another thing that I think is interesting about their chart.
You're a very distraught, evil human being. I don't want to see you, okay?
We need to talk about the fact that Kim's Chiron is literally in Kourtney's 2nd house. And the 2nd house is really about career. And the Chiron energy represents a lot of that wounded healer energy, a lot of that energy of hurt and moving past certain situations. And sometimes people say it's like the biggest traumatic part of one's life is when that Chiron energy comes up. And the fact that it's in that energy of the 2nd house lets me know that this conflict with work and it being her sister kind of is over that space. It's probably best for not just Kourtney, but in all honesty, for Kim, for them not to work together. And also about this energy is Kim's Chiron is in Taurus, which happens to make everything a little bit more rooted and long, I guess you could say, long going. So this energy of hurt, Kim will continue to dish out to Kourtney. Kourtney will continue to take it very personal. And since it has to do with that energy of work and growth and expansion for Kourtney, it would be beneficial for her to cut some ties. So I do think that there are some comparisons that are beneficial for their relationship, but I think it has to do with outside of working together. In all honesty, I think that the working together and that area of competition and fame and ego is really going to drive a wedge into them for a long period of time. I also think that they both have very similar values when it comes to family, but they express them totally different. And another one of the transits that does make me say just cut off ties when it comes to work is the fact that Kourtney's Jupiter is literally in a strong square with Kim's sun. That energy of ego, again, with expansion and growth, basically squaring off and saying, I'm not moving, I'm not budging. Both of them are feeling very tied down. My opinion after reading their charts would definitely be stop working together. Just stop. It's not worth the relationship. It's not worth risking the turmoil on the family and your interpersonal energy. I do feel like some of it is for the drama and for the money as well. But if you really want to save your relationship with your sister, don't work together, just cut ties. I think they know that the public loves the drama. They love that fiery, fierce energy of fighting and competition that the two sisters have. And that's what they tune in for. So to cut off that chance of making more money isn't really worth it to them. But thanks for watching.